What is shaking, Jakey? What is shaking? You hanging out in the barn? Are you a barn cat now? I was going to, you know what I was going to do? I was going to get another cat today. We're going to live in here too. Oh, look at you. You got hay all over your back. You are a barn cat. What a barn cat. What are you doing in the barn, hey? What are you doing in the barn? Look at you. Oh my God, you're a mess. You're a mess. What have you been doing? Oh my God, what a barn cat. You're not a barn cat, you're an inside cat. All right, back home with our bees, and the smoke is starting to creep in here too. It was so nice and clear. But I have with me a 4-frame nuke that we are going to open up and release here tonight, and then tomorrow we'll put them into our frames. All right, I'm gloving up. My gloves on and my long sleeve shirt. Try to open this without getting stung here. Oh, not my ear, fuck. Ah, my gosh. Ah, it's still chasing me. Come on. Danica, Danica. Come on, Danica. Ah, they chased us. Look, and one went right in my ear, and Danica's getting bit over there. He went crazy. He wasn't fibbing. Now Danica got bit. Got stung. Danica, you okay? Okay, sweetie? You got bit in the mouth. You okay? You alright, sweetie? To run like a bugger. Maybe we should just leave them alone. Danica, come here. Danica, Danica, Danica. Come on, Danica. Come on. Come on, Danica. Danica, come on. Come. Come on, Danica, come. All right, so yesterday I transferred the bees from the nuke box to the hive, and I had it on photo instead of video. And so it was so exciting. I was so scared. Those things, they were just absolutely teeming with freaking bees. And today, they are active. Look at that. Look at how many bees are in front of that hive there. Yikes. That is a lot of bees. Put a sugar bowl out there to feed them. They are all over that. And they are just like flying around. All right, so look what showed up today. In-laws brought this from my brother-in-law, who is an apiarist, a beekeeper by trade. And this is just a box. It's not the full kit that they sell online, but this is one box that he would use as a super inside of his other boxes. But these are the flow hive type units. So what happens is this box, I need to build a bottom box where the bees would go in underneath, and then you can have an extruder, which means is like a screen that keeps the queen bee at the bottom. And then this would sit on top, this box, and then you got to build a little roof or a flat roof with a slope so it sheds the rain and the water. But these are that front piece like that has little bits of Velcro there that aren't sticky anymore because of all the bee juice on there. But anyways, you pop this off, and then you would use these keys. These keys, they call them, but really what they are is just pieces of metal that go in. They slide in the top here of these bits there. Oh, hang on a second. There is a little cap right there. You pull that cap off first, and then you put your key in there, and you put one on each side, like so. One there and one there. And then when you turn those, what that does is it lifts up. Here, I'll move that out of the way. And we just move this up a bit. So there's this piece here. It moves up and down with these keys. So the keys press it up. See if you turn it like that. See how it presses it up like that? And so now it's up. It's in the up position. And that's the open position. So you open the bottom piece here. And you put a little, this down here is where the honey would come out. So these are now broken, these cells. I'll show you that. I'll pull this whole thing out. So you pull this out. What you have here is your honeycombs, cells that they fill with honey and then cap. And when it's in this position, I don't know if you can see that, but those cells are broken one side up, one side down, quote unquote broken. And so that the honey that's inside of those will all flow to the bottom and flow out the bottom end here. And then you can remove this, oops, okay, now it's just falling to the side. But anyways, you remove this little cap here, and when it's standing upright like this, and inside the box like this, when you have it in there and you turn the key like that, the honey will flow down. That's why it's called a flow hive, and down into the bottom here. And then you're supposed to have this on a 5-degree angle like that, so the honey all flows to the front. And then you can put these little tubes on them here, and that tube is just a little extension. And when this is sitting up higher on another box, you put a jar underneath here, and it flows out. The honey flows out, and you fill the jar. So no centrifuging, no scraping, no pulling things apart, no banging the bees off them to do all that work. None of that. You just, everything stays in place like it is now. And then once you're done, you take these out and you put them on the top of those. Oops, should have this key this way, of course. Like so, the handle's that way. And this key that way. And you put those in, all the way in. Sometimes people say they might not go all the way in right at the beginning, especially when it's all sticky and full of honey. So you can just put them in part way and turn it a bit, and then turn it a bit more. See how that piece again is going to come down with these keys, and you get them both going, and that whole thing comes down. You should use 2 hands. With 2 hands you can, I'm holding that phone of course with 1 hand, but with 2 hands you do that. You twist it down, that piece comes up, and then it closes those cells, and the bees can then again work them, and they'll fill them back up with honey. So you just keep doing that. I can't recall how many times a year you can pull or extract your honey, but I'll have to figure that out. So these are the keys that they say. This is the little end cap that goes on here, upside downy. Oops, keeps everybody in their little house. This is the little front thing. You got to make sure you don't lose all these little bits and pieces. So it's a very careful type of work with all these little pieces of plastic that you wouldn't want to lose. That goes on the front. This goes here. I'm going to have to replace these bits of Velcro, or make a top that kind of fits over top of it and then comes down over top of this and would hold it all down. But anyways, so I got a little bit of work to do on that to build the rest of that. Bees don't get shipped until the end of May, beginning of June, and right now this is the end of April, so I got a month to put that together. And while I'm doing that, of course, you know me, I have lots of other projects going on here down at Brig Acres. I also have the chicken coop that I almost bought one, but it ended up being too small, so I'm going to still do the scrap. So I mentioned that I had this from the brother-in-law. These are flow hive type, or flow hive beehives. And they go on the top. They are the supers, where they store the honey, and then you can get the honey out of these by flowing them out. This one goes right on top. I need to build one on the bottom, which is called the brood box, and when I get my bees, they go in the brood box on the bottom, and that's where the queen lives as well. And so this box here, I'm going to build one for the bottom that this sits on top of, and you let your brood build out in there, and they build combs, and the queen lays its eggs, and they turn into larvae, and then they turn into worker bees and drones, and so they do all the different jobs in the hive. And then once that brood box is full and fully active, then you put your super on top, and then they'll fill up the super with the honey for their food source. And what you do is you put a excluder, it's called, excluder I guess, is a screen that in between them that doesn't allow the queen to pass between the two. So that's what I have learned. There's tons and tons, thousands of videos and good online resources for beekeeping. All I'm going to show you is that I'm going to build a box, my own box, called a Langstrom box that these fit into. So then once you build out these, I bought these, of course, 10 frames because they're pretty complex little bitties all put together. So you put all these together, glue them, and nail them, and then these fit into your brood box for the bees to work in, and the queen stays in that side, lays her eggs. So anyways, I need to build a box with this that goes underneath this one, and that's what I'm going to do now, because I got lots of scraps, and I'm trying not to spend money on any of this stuff that I don't have to. Got my little table saw there. I ripped these boards here, which are 6 and, for my purposes, 6 3/4, I think 6 7/8 maybe, to be this deep, so that when I put them in, they're gonna fit right in there nicely. And the bees are just gonna have barely enough. And now I just need to cut them to lengths to make the box. So this box is gonna be 19 7/8, I believe, by 6 3/4. So the length, I need exactly the length of one of these frames. Outside to outside. Need same length as this one, or same width, so it fits right on top. Alright, I'm just going to make some lips to hold the frames on the inside, which are 14.5. This is a piece of pallet wood. There I go, using pallet wood. On a pencil it doesn't work. Wow, come on. And there's the plan. Cut the sides and the ends, cut and put one of these on either end. A little higher than that. Put up nice and tight there, and the frame will sit in, and right on top of these. I just lift these up a little bit so they go right underneath there. So yeah, that's it. And 10 of them will fit in here. Done, done, and done. Let's glue and screw. Sitting in my basement here, putting together a bunch of frames. These are the larger 9-inch frames for another box. So I bought an entire frame, or Hive this time. So today at noon, after I put all this together, we'll go out there and we'll transfer the frames from the Nuke into this new box. And then I'll have 3 boxes plus the frames that the bees came in. I am off to transfer the bees from the Nuke box that I got to the new beehive. It came in time. So I got this bee castle from Amazon. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got this nice lid with the metal on top. It's got the transfer box lid. It's got already beeswaxed. Everything's beeswaxed already, you can tell. It's all piled in there. Everything's got the dado joints like the real bees box. It's got kind of an entrance reducer there, bottom box, and then I got my stuff filled here. Got kind of a bee suit, a bee hat, got smoker, lighter, bee, hive tool they call it. It's just crowbar, and some wood and stuff for the smoker. So we'll see how that goes. We'll get down there and we'll light the smoker up and see what happens. Cooking in there. Oh, she's cooking now. And put some burlap in there. And she's smoking. Off we go to see the wizards. So your smoker's going. Hanging out in the top box. I added this super that I built inside there. Don't see any, oh yeah, I see some starting to work it. Well, not really starting. Don't see any. On that one, let's see a little bit of action on this one. Look in there though. See there, just starting to put some base down. This is box. They got it glued down already, as you can tell. they're building it right across. She really didn't want it to happen. So they're just starting to work on it, but not doing a lot. Still basically on their same ones that they've had, but they're kind of building them out puppy-like. Look at the action here. This one bee won't leave me alone, it's just all over me. Trying to smoke them away, but just trying to attack. Alright, good enough. We have seen and unconquered. Oh, rain on a tin roof and horses looking for supper. Almost time for dinner.